Hello, I'm your host, Theo Spentera, of In Ear Fetish, and Z Reviews and Cooking and all that other crap. Wallpaper available in the Wallpaper Horde, including every wallpaper I've ever used ever on any channel, ever. So you might want to look into Resilio Sync, because that's how I do it. Check a video on the second channel. These are the 7 Hertz Legato. So I saw the word gato, and I saw the kind of word le, and I'm like, well, I gotta put a cat girl wallpaper. So just, that's it. Review over. Thanks for coming by. Wallpaper in the description as well. Desk mat in the description as well. So these are a $109 dual dynamic. Now, the elephant in the room is I have a dynamic and planar Rinko collab. It's over there somewhere. And are they different? Who's better? Zeos, are you going to be biased? Of course I'm going to be biased. But here's the thing. I don't care if you buy Rinko or this one. If you click the link, I still make some money. That's how YouTube works. All right? So if I tell you to buy Legato, it's going to be for this reason. This responds amazingly to different amplifiers and to different tips, because it become blatantly, stupidly apparent to me that, like, I was just doing the Dakoni tips for everything, and it made my life so simple. Life was easy. It was just like, I don't know, put a Dakoni tip on it, it feels good, or I'd use it. But now I'm going to have to fuck with all these. At least, here's the case it comes with. I have to address the elephant in the room. This is too fucking big. 7 Hertz has got this fetish for just like, we'll give them a smaller IEM box, but fill it with a case. It's like the running inside joke, like how much can we get away with it? And then they made it wood grain. Fake leather, like vinyl wood. Like, what are you doing? Please stop. Inside you get a collection of standard tips in a nice green bag. Kind of looks like the kind of bag you get like heroin in. I don't know. I don't buy heroin, but I feel like colored little Ziploc bags is always what they use in drug movies and like Law and Order and shit like that. You get a replacement for cleanable nozzles, like the nozzles that just cover under the tips. These are not tuning nozzles. These are just the bits that if they get gunky, you would, I guess, replace them. And you can get this out if you want to use it for like storage of, wow, I could almost fit the wall. Like an entire remote control almost fits. What else could fit in here? It's gotta be something that just fits in here so that you don't have to use it for this. But you're never gonna use it for IEMs ever again. It's too fucking large. That's the only accessories it comes with. It comes with a really nice wire. I will say even nicer than the Rinko wire, where it's a 4-wire weave and it looks super high-end. It's only a 3.5 millimeter. It says 7 Hertz on it. I'm using an adapter that I provided. It's real tight into this adapter, though. It's a 4-wire that goes up to a 2-wire. I'll take them on ears to listen to them, to show you them in a second. I'm on the 3rd set of tips. So I started with the Dakoni tips, and I got a certain sound signature, and I was switching between amplifiers. I'm like, wow, this sounds different than this. It sounds different from this. I got the THX AAA1 here. Wall 11 Topaz, which is a warm boy solid state, the Rebel amp, which is a warm boy class A solid state, and then the tube hybrid TH22, which is usually a warm boy tube hybrid. And on different tips, it's more extreme. So I've got the X-Lastic tips on now, which are most similar to like every other silicone. And my judgment on them is, you got a nice sparkly high on everything. On everything you plug them into, the highs are beautifully like there. Because there's 2 dynamics. The bass notes are solid, but not overbearing. You want to get overbearing, you get the render tips, which are the ones that come with the Rinko. Those make the bass blomp, but not like as clean as, I gotta actually compare. It sounds a little bit more normal in the bass, and this actually dulls them a little bit, the render tips. So I would not recommend my collaboration tips for these IEMs. However, I would recommend other tips for these. So Dakonis were fine, and I was going to give them a full recommendation on just Dakonis. And then I switched to the X-Elastics, which are, pulling out of my ear, which are these like really sticky, just silicones. Here they are, by the way. Super pretty, like prettier than the Rinko. Gunmetal, a little bit fat. It's got a fat body right here. R indicated. It is a 2-wire. I could swap this over to a balance cable like the Chimera cable, and then test with even more amplifiers, because the main thing, all right, if I had to break these down, now look at them again, look at them, they're very pretty, look at them. You don't need to see them, you need to hear about me talk about them. That's the whole point of this channel. If I averaged out, if I took all the listenings of these 4 amplifiers with the 3 sets of tips, that's 12 sets. I've listened to 12 sets. If I mashed them down and got you a common denominator, it would be a gentle, subtle dynamic with just enough low end, as long as you're not on... If you're on something that's super fucking linear, the low end sort of like peters out. And if you're on something crazy warm... you're going to get hit by the low end probably like 10% more than you want to be. So the average is a good imaging, yet like subtly soft. It's just in the background. It's a background music IEM. It's the best, it's the nicest way I could put it. Because it's like, I'm listening to this up, but I don't feel like I'm doing critical listening with it. I feel like critical listening, like ignoring Rinko and it's just absurdity. Like, there are some IMs that are for critical fucking listening, where you sit down and you're like, I am now going to study my music like I'm going to be tested on this. And these are not that. That's great. I hate when IMs get like, it's okay to have a critical listening IM. I fucking use them. Dunu Zens and Dunu Zen Pros are critical listening IMs. Those are $1,000 and you're supposed to sit there and shut the fuck up. I'm listening to my music. Okay, now you can speak. And these are just like, every song, we got John Coltrane just plucking away over there. Donnie Darko soundtrack. The new Star Trek OST from the Star Trek movie. And I say new, but it was like 2008. What the fuck was that new Star Trek movie? It's fine. It's we're coming out of a hybrid tube and it sounds far away. We move it to here and it sounds closer. What is the impedance on these? 26 ohms. So that's not too far off. But it reacts wildly to different amplification. Probably the most, this is like exaggeratory of the chill. How exaggerated a chill factor do you want? Plug it in here, it shorts it out, then it has to come back, and then... And this being the most linear amp, because if you don't know, the THX AAA1 is like dead straight. What does it sound like? Nothing. That's exactly what I want it to sound like. These still have just enough excitement in them, like on their own, without amplification problems, to get a recommendation. But they're not like... They don't feel like I just did heroin and jumped out of a building window. Like that's reserved for other IEMs. These are trying to be like classical ready. They're bringing the classical music in. I have to do that with my hand. I have to like swoosh. They're very swooshy. They're not aggressive. They want you to play them, I think, a little bit quieter than normal. You just got to sort of like find, and even on this dead nuts balls flat amplification, it's like, you know what? I just had a stressful day. Fuck off. Legato. That's it. That's where we are. That's where I've landed on these. I'm using silicone tips, which is what they come with, where you can buy the Classic or the Dunus. And I'm just chill. It's like just the Konosuba Season 1 ending, which I got to get these speakers hooked up so I can like fade them in so you can hear what the fuck I'm talking about. I wouldn't even say they're exceptional at this job. But they're doing it in a package that's well-made, good-looking, and by a company that I trust. I like 7 Hertz. And, yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to, like, jump. I'm not going to break out the glow sticks and start fucking raving with these. That's not what they're for. They're very, very much... They're just so soft. They're soft and lovely. I want a soft... These have dual dynamics. You know what else has dual dynamics? Tin T2s. Tin T2s have been surpassed by the Tin T2 DLCs or TLCs. I forget. Yeah, I think the DLCs. And it's like, okay, those are that but more. Well, these are that but more. They're basically the next 10 T2s, which is why I keep hearing people going about Legato, Legato, Legato. Legato? Like cat? So yeah, a recommendation. Full recommendation. Full fuck. Rinkos if you want to just do heroin and jump out a window. And these if you just want to watch that dude, but in like the chillest 420 fucking YOLO swag way. Like, bruh. Like I'm in a church right now. Code Geass, OVA, which I haven't watched the OVA. A Man Called the Devil. You know what? You're going to watch me put this into the new test folder for sound demos. If you support this channel on Patreon and Subscribestar, or all my channels on that, you get into a private place where I host all the sound demos now. Because fuck YouTube. They're not chill. YouTube is not chill. This place, not chill. I host the chill shit. And I want to be able to play this song on $1,500 headphones and let you hear it. And speakers. You know, I'm taking them out of my ears now. But of course, I'm just going to lay there. These would be, if they were a little bit smaller, I'd say these would be the perfect IEM to sleep in. But they're a little thick for that. But you know, it's a good sound. It's a good sound. I've had some 7 hertz things come across my desk that I'm just like, ah! And I back the fuck away. And these are not that. These are nice. They're definitely not as aggressive as like the timeless AEs. Those things are like heroin and out the window. I'd like to think that my Rinko competes with that level of tiger blood crazy. But you know, these stand on their own as just being chill as fuck. If you wanted to try them with the most bass and kind of like muted treble, because the treble on this doesn't reach up super high. Like if you have a chill IM, it's not going to do that. But this like reduces the treble by like 10%. And then the Coney's are just, if you prefer foam, you're not really going to ruin the sound of these with foam. It's just going to enhance the bass and everything. It was still getting light bass on the THX, but this, and this all were like more. So anyway, I'm done. Patreon, Subscribestar, check them out. If you like this channel, you like this stuff, hit the subscribe button. I'm allowed to say that here. Favorite it. Send it to your fucking mom. Mom. Not my mom. Your mom. Your mom. Hi. Your sons are lovely. Presumably sons. If you're a daughter, she's lovely too. Anyway, wallpaper, supporters, links, desk pad, down in the description. Let's do another one of these in 2 days.